Sorry, I did not mean to scare you there. We're just currently going through this dark phase within the World of Warcraft community. Quite literally, if you think about it, 11.2, a Void theme patch, is on the horizon, but that's probably not what you're thinking about. You're probably thinking about all the people who are quitting World of Warcraft to play another MMORPG. How dare these people jump into... Oh, old school RuneScape? That game's pretty fun, actually. I made a video, actually. My last one was all about OS... Sorry, you're watching a WoW video. I apologize. What about these people laughing about the new cutscene that got added in a minor patch, 11.1.7? They're laughing at it. Asmongold and his chat are going bananas about this cutscene. How dare they? You know, has World of Warcraft fallen down? Is it a dead game? Should I uninstall and just cancel my subscription? Hold on a second. Timeout. There's a lot of things that you should think about right now as to why WoW is in this dark phase right now. Is the game dead?
No.
So why don't we just take a moment and consider the following. In today's video, I'm going to dive into why WoW is in this phase during the warm summer months, and it's actually really common for a lot of MMORPGs to fall into this kind of headspace or feeling during the peak warm months of the year. Speaking of which, I'm literally dripping with sweat trying to film this video because I don't have any air conditioning in Germany. It feels like the World 2 dry desert in any Super Mario game. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into this video. So the first two things I'm going to cover is why people are playing another MMORPG during the warm summer months, that being old school RuneScape, and why people are laughing at the new cutscene that Blizzard Entertainment added in a minor patch. Let's cover the first one. Why do people play another game during the warm summer months? Quite frankly, it's because there's a lack of updates when it comes to MMORPG games. A lot of them are typically updated with their big beefy patches during the colder months of the year. They think that people are indoors more and gamers aren't really occupied being outside. Perhaps during the warmer months, you know, you're outside enjoying the sunshine and, you know, taking some time away from being cooped up at your gamer desk. But let's be real here. You're a gamer. The last thing you want to do is be outside when it's scorching hot. A lot of developers, they take time off during the summer months. They go on vacations with their families. They're normal people, unlike us who play video games all the time. But I just want to say that it's very common for a lot of MMORPG games to not have big updates during the summer months. And that means that a lot of content creators who play these games a lot for a living, yeah, they're going to play other games during that time to kind of occupy themselves. And that's why you see a lot of WoW people, and a lot of them are actually classic World of Warcraft players. They kind of got bored with Classic. There's not really updates coming to the game. They're waiting on Classic Plus to hopefully come out one day. So a lot of them are jumping into old school RuneScape, and they get views because of it. And old school RuneScape is a game where you can play that, and if you progress through the game and take 8 months off, your progress there isn't halted or delayed, or oh, you got to get new gear because there's a new item level. Like, it's a very cool progression system in old school RuneScape. So I highly advise you check out that game if you are sick of WoW. But maybe you do want to play World of Warcraft. Well, there are some updates coming to the game, minor patches. See, if you don't know how World of Warcraft works, when an expansion comes out, they do have the big major patches that come out. Typically 3 is what we've seen the past couple of expansions. And these big major patches, you know, they're beefy. They got the raids, they got maybe some new dungeons, new tier sets, like, holy cow, let's get hyped. Yeah, let's go. But there's not always a major patch happening often. You typically have to wait 4 or maybe 5 months for a major patch. So in between that, we get little sprinkles of minor patches. And that's okay. You know, a minor patch is just kind of there to entertain you. There's not a lot of content that's added in a minor patch. Maybe a little bit of story. You get a little bit of rewards here and there. There's something. Maybe there's one big beefy item you can get with an item level. Okay, cool. But minor patches are not really there to be a big spectacle. It's not a Marvel cinematic thing. So when people try and cover WoW, well, they're gonna look with a giant magnifying glass and be like, wow, World of Warcraft's not doing so well. Typically, it happens during these minor patches, and that's what Asmongold has milked for views, and his viewers, oh my gosh, I can't believe WoW is in this state like this. Yeah, the cutscene's not Oscar worthy. You know, it's not amazing. I get it. I wasn't a fan of the patch either. Like, it didn't thrill me, but I still played it and entertained me for at least an hour and a half, and I got some new transmogs out of it, so okay. It got me to an area in the game I haven't been to in a while, and that's fine. I think they successfully did what they wanted to do. In fact, a lot of studios spend a lot of time playtesting their game, trying to make it as good as possible. But how do I know that they playtest their game like crazy to make sure the content is good? Well, it's because of my personal job that I have. I work in the gaming industry, and one of my previous roles at a different company, I was honing honed in on focusing on playtesting with user researchers, right? I chatted with them and what's the problem with your game? What do you want? What kind of playtest do you want to run in order to make sure you get the feedback you're looking for? Developers spend a fair amount of time making sure they playtest updates before they push them out. Even the minor patches, they know that it's not going to be a huge spectacle. You don't see tons of media outlets covering 11.1.7, the war within legacy of Azeroth, or however you pronounce it. They're going to save that type of marketing and the big megaphone's going to go off when a big major patch comes out, like the one I'm really excited for. If you see something on the internet and people make fun of WoW or any game, you need to consider the following. Figure out, is this a major patch? What came out before? What era in WoW are we in? Is it the summer months? And what we get is what we get. It's a minor patch. You don't have to play everything in the game. In fact, even a major patch, the Undermine patch, the 11.1 with the goblins, I wasn't even a fan of that. And it's just because of the theme. I thought, oh, this is an expansion. We're underground. It's void theme. The main antagonist is Xalatath. And I thought, who is this main mafia goblin guy? I mean, I'm kind of new to WoW, so maybe I don't know, but I was just like, I don't know. It's not really something I'm looking forward to. The whole steampunk aesthetic with all the tier sets, I'm like, could have been better, but all right. Maybe I'll like the car when I drive around the car, and I didn't really like the Mario Kart aesthetic, and like, I didn't really stick around during a major patch. This is just me sharing with you guys that even though there's something that gets added to the game and it's beefy and it's good, it's not going to appeal to everyone, right? I like playing Shadow Priest and Paladin, so if there's a great tier set for them, I'm going to be over the moon, and maybe I'm going to play the game a lot more. But if it's something that doesn't appeal to you, right? Maybe you get a horrible tier set or you don't like the theme of whatever patch, guess what? You don't have to play that. You do not have to play that content. Does not mean that you have to quit WoW. Take a break. There are a lot of other games that are out there. Old school RuneScape. I don't know. Hop into Fortnite. Play Fortnite. My dad's looking for friends in Fortnite. I think we can all agree that MMORPGs, yes, you can endlessly play them. Like there's no end in sight. You can always progress your character and keep on going and farm the next transmog, but you can take breaks if you do get overwhelmed. However, one way that you can continue playing if you want to make it easier and stick around in WoW is setting your own goals. So for me, when I play an MMO, I go, okay, what do I want to do? What's my next goal? Getting my character to a certain level or leveling a crafting profession? Probably not. I don't like crafting in video games, but one thing I do like are collections or transmogs and appearances for my character. Ooh, heck yeah. And a lot of you guys probably play WoW specifically because of this reason. You're probably still farming Invincible, right? You haven't gotten Invincible yet? This is your reminder. Go do your weekly grind for that Invincible mount that you'll probably never get. But like, this is kind of the appeal with WoW. If you're trying to chase after an item, you will probably play the game a lot more. And that's fantastic. And for me, I'm head over heels with trying to get this Xalatath tier set. I'm really happy with hopefully getting it at one point in the future. I'm going to hopefully play the game with other people and do some mythic raiding. That should be fun. But that's another thing I want to talk about, playing the game with other players. I do say that it would be great for you to play with your friends. And that might be easier to do for some people than others, but for a lot of us, we have friends that do like to play MMORPG games, but they're busy during the times that we're free, or they're not actually interested in playing that MMORPG, so maybe you're just stuck with playing with random players. That's not a bad thing. There are a lot of things in game to make it easy to pair up with players, but boy, if you're a new player, good luck. That's all I'm gonna say. I actually jumped into Mythic plus Dungeoneering to level up my item level a bit more, and my experience there was it was not fun. I was trying to get into a group, any group, a +0, count me in. +2, sure. I was getting declined for 10+ minutes, and I tried this in 2 different batches during 2 different days, during 2 different time zones. It was horrible. It was not good. I had to start my own group, and finally I got my own group together, and we killed the first boss, and then one of our healer disconnects, and back to, you know, the lobby. I'm waiting for people to join my group. So it's like playing an MMORPG. It's fun to play with other people, and that's what I like, but sometimes you just don't have a group ready, and that's why a lot of people, maybe they don't want to play an MMORPG. They get burnt out. Oh, the grouping system is bad. But you might think, hold on, there's a solution. Why don't you just join a group and be in with a bunch of AIs? This actually happened to me. I queued into this random thing called Dangerous Duos or Dazzling Duos. I don't even know what it was, but it was something within Khazalgar. I queued into it, found a group really quickly, and I realized these are a bunch of AIs. They're running around in my group. These are not real world people. And I thought to myself, this is so sad. I'm playing an MMORPG, massively multiplayer online game. And here I am with a bunch of AI. There are loads of single-player games that are out there. I could play any of them, and I don't have to queue in with other people. I get it, I'm playing with AI, but I know that. And it's just it's just kind of ironic that I'm playing an MMO game, but I'm just playing with other robots and AI stuff. And like, yeah, I applaud Blizzard for making it so that way, if you don't want to play with other people, you can. But man, I was just kind of bummed when I was hoping to play content with other people, and I was just there with a bunch of other robots. I'm like, ugh. Well, that is another thing that I will mention. Blizzard is trying new things this expansion, which is good. It's good to experiment within the game. I'm not saying AI companions are bad and horrible. Like, it's actually great if you don't want to deal with other people. Like, that's fantastic. I just wish it was more labeled and I didn't have to guess if it was AI or not. And I kind of had to at first, but maybe I just didn't read something. Another thing that's kind of controversial is the combat within WoW. See, a lot of people will either say one of two things. They'll go, WoW's combat is really fun. I like WoW's combat. It's great. And then other people will go, WoW's combat is really complicated and I don't understand what to do and I'd rather not play this video game. Well, there is a solution that Blizzard Entertainment added. It is the one button rotation, which you just press one button and you probably do a lot more damage than 75% of the player base that's out there, which is crazy. And a lot of people get upset. You know, they key bound all their skills. They know what to hit. They know the best rotation, and they probably do a little bit more damage than the single button rotation. But this thing actually exists within WoW now. And this is actually simplifying things and showing that maybe the combat system for WoW is not as easy or user-friendly as it should be. For us who have grew up and played MMORPGs, maybe we can have a better understanding of it. But for new folks or people who haven't played in 6+ months and things have changed and I don't want to go through this, like, you don't even have to bind it on your keyboard. You can literally have a MMO mouse and have the side button right there and just click on the side of your mouse and you're good to go. Just make sure you dodge out of the circles and like, that's your MMO experience. I don't know how I feel about both of those things, the AI companions and the one button rotation. They're in the game, so it's like, are they going to take them out? Probably not, but it does kind of affect the player base. Some people get like, why even bother? Why am I sweating my butt off trying to click all these buttons? Like, I'm just going to use the single button rotation. But regardless, yeah, I applaud Blizzard for trying to get new people into the game faster. You're not running into queue lines and maybe people don't know they're playing with AI, but I don't know. For me, I just want to play the game with actual real life humans. That's why I like to play MMORPG games. And I think that's a good way to wrap up this video. If you're looking to play World of Warcraft, I'm happy to jump into the game. I do have a Discord community. You can join there, leave your transmog. I don't know, complain about WoW if you want to there. Doesn't matter to me, but I'd be happy to jump into WoW and play along with you guys, either in raids or Mythic Plus dungeons. You're gonna have to carry me because I'm not good at this game, but hey, help me learn. Maybe join me on stream, and I'm looking forward to jumping into the new patch, the 11.2, the Void theme patch. Like, oh, I'm looking forward to it. Should be a lot of fun. I do want to know, though, what's your opinion on World of Warcraft right now? Do you think we're in a dark era right now? Are you actually still playing WoW? Or are you playing other games? Drop me a comment down below. I do have to say a special thanks to my YouTube members and Patreon supporters. Look, their characters are on screen. You want your character on screen and you want to see exclusive videos such as this one where I talk about why a WoW guild that I had and I ended up starting and it ended up dying. What did I do there? What went wrong? Well, you can watch that video if you're a YouTube member or a Patreon supporter. Thanks very much for watching, and as always,